All right, fire 'em up!
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I stumbled onto something, this thing right here, and I wanted to talk about it today. I've come to realize that pretty much everything in my life leads back to the first passion I've ever had, and that's movies. And I mean, everything kind of leads back to that. And this is going to come into play, and I'll actually show you what it is. I'm pretty sure if you are a wrestling fan, you can guess what it is, but how it came to be in my possession and is a remarkable story, and I wanted to share it with you all today because I think it'll give you a little bit of a boost, a little bit of a light in these rather dark days that we've been living in over the past couple of years. One of my favorite movies is the movie Tombstone. It's an absolute great movie. I am a fan of Westerns anyway. Even from a little kid, playing out in front of the house and doing cowboys and Indians and cops and robbers and stuff like that. I always liked cowboys. It was just something about that idea of living in the Old West. And then even after I got older and realized what the Wild West was actually like, I still was a big fan of cowboys. So, like I said, one of my favorite movies was Tombstone. I pretty much, if you've seen the movie, almost every single person who's seen the movie, your favorite character was probably Val Kilmer, playing Doc Holliday. For me, exactly the same. I thought his performance was absolutely fantastic. All of his lines are absolutely memorable. But for most people, their favorite line would be the obvious.
Don't any of you have the guts to play for blood?
I'm your huckleberry. That's just my game.
That "I'm your Huckleberry" line is iconic, right? A million times it's been said, and a million times more it'll be said. It's like I said, it's one of those just iconic lines that everybody who has seen the movie, they will repeat every single chance they get. But to me, that wasn't my absolute favorite line in the film. For me, my favorite line in that film came later on in the film after Wyatt Earp and his friends are tracking down everybody and knocking them off one by one. At a certain point, two of the guys in Wyatt Earp's gang is asking Doc, "Hey, we know you're sick, and you can barely stand up. Why are you here?" And Val Kilmer's character looks at him and says, "I'm here because Wyatt Earp is my friend." And I can't remember which one of the two guys said it, but he looked at Val Kilmer's character and says, "Well, hell, I have a lot of friends." Basically saying, "Well, hell, so what? He's your friend. This isn't something that friends would actually do for each other." And Val Kilmer looks at his character, and the camera pans in close, and just a couple of words in the line. "I don't," or "well, I don't." And that line stuck with me, and it has always stuck with me for years. And it stuck with me because in just those few words, Val Kilmer is saying, "Well, you may have a lot of friends, but a person like me, I don't have a lot of them, and I cherish them, and I would do anything for them." So the moment he says he needs me, or this person who I call a friend, even if he doesn't actually outright say the words that they need me, I'm going to be there for them. And like I say, it stuck with me. It has always stuck with me. Fast forward all these many years later, I can honestly say that I don't have a lot of friends. I don't. I am acquainted with many, many people. We hang out, we go eat, we come over each other's houses. Our kids know each other. We vacation together, all these things. But friends, actual friends, I only count very, very few. And that's where this comes in, because this came to me because of a friend. And he is my absolute best friend. And I have known him for almost 30 years. We were in the same high school together. We knew of each other. We didn't actually run in the same circle, but we knew each other. We would pass by each other in the hallway. And as high school kids do, we would eyeball each other, and that'd be pretty much it. years go by and we wind up working at the same place. We both wound up at the post office, which he is still very much at. I wound up leaving, becoming a truck driver, whole different story. And we've been friends ever since that fateful day in the post office where we looked at each other and said, hey, we went to high school together. It's like, holy crap, we're here, and then we became friends in that instance, not because we saw each other and we knew that we went to high school together, but I remember it clear as day, and he probably won't because my memory is weird like this, where I remember all little details. We were talking to each other, trying to figure out who we were. And somebody said something to the effect that, we need to stop chit-chatting and get back to work. And almost instinctively, neither one said anything to the person, but we looked at this guy and we both told him to shut the fuck up. Almost instantaneously, almost at the exact same time. And we've been friends ever since. Now that friendship has seen us see each other at our absolute, and I mean terrible worst. I mean the absolute worst things that you can go through in your life, one of us have gone through, and we've seen each other through it. And we've never once judged each other, as friends are not supposed to. We will give each other advice. We will tell each other in a heartbeat, hey, you're being really stupid, or you sound stupid, or you're doing something stupid. And we hold each other accountable. But it's always with love. It's always with the idea that, hey, you're a better person than this and you can do better, because I know you can do better because I know how good of a person you are. Now, that whole story, that whole roundabout thing leads me straight to this, because this was given to me a few days ago. He knows very well that I am really weird about people giving me gifts. I don't mind people giving me stuff. My wife gives me things all the time. And even when she gives me things, it's weird. I don't know why. I've been that way my entire life. Even when my mom would buy me things or my dad would buy me things, it was always this weird feeling like, do I deserve it? Should I actually take it? What do I do? I say thank you, obviously, and tell the person who gave it to me I love him or her, and it's like, cool. Now what do I do? Like, do I give the person something in return? Is there something I'm supposed to do outside of that? It's always a weird feeling when I get things, and he knows that, but he gave it to me anyway. And I stood there looking at it, and I didn't even open the bag. I have seen it. I do know what it is. But I remember standing there looking at it, and I didn't want to open it. My wife was standing right there when he gave it to me, and it was just a weird feeling, and I didn't want to accept it. And he knew I didn't want to accept it, but I did because I know why he gave it to me. And he explained to me why he gave it to me. It's not for you to know. It's between me and him. And I accepted it because I love him. I love him to death. He is my best friend, but more than that, he is my brother. I would walk through hell for him, just as I know he would for me. If something happened to me, I know he would look after my wife and make sure that she was like she never needed for anything and the kids were straight. He's one of the very, very, and I mean very, very few men that if I was ever in a jam, I know I could pick the phone up at any time of day. I don't care if it's 3:00 in the morning on a Sunday, and they would crawl out of bed and come to help rescue me. I know that for a fact, because they know if anything was ever bothering them and they absolutely needed me, and they would call me, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be there in a minute. I would leave work. I would leave church. It doesn't matter. I'd hop out of bed with my wife. They know. They know if they ever needed me, just like I know if I ever needed them, they would come. And that's friendship, truly, that I don't think most people understand what friendship is. Excuse me. You look online and you read all these stories about people talking about my day one and what they think it means to have friends and to be in a friendship. And I believe it all falls short of what true friendship actually is. Friendship isn't about the buying of things. It isn't about the giving of gifts. It isn't about monetary, and it isn't about the pictures you see on Instagram and everywhere else. Friendship is truly about those dark times that nobody talks about, that is known between you and the other person only, and you go through them together. Even when it's not your fault, you are still going to go through it with that person and say, hey, I got your back. I believe in these times we need actual friendships to pull us through. We need connections from one person to another that says, yeah, it's dark outside. That's okay. I'm your light. Follow me. I'll get you through this. we don't really have that much anymore. I remember being young and thinking I had tons of friends. And as I've gotten older, I realized that I never really did have a lot of friends. A lot of people I've known along the way, I've known long enough to where they're family members. And like I said, this guy, this is him. I have known him for, like I said, close to 30 years, maybe a little bit more if I got to do the math in my head right now. And I do consider him more than just a friend. He is my brother. I remember before my mom passed away, she was always asking me, well, how are your brothers? Plural. Yeah, I have a lot of siblings, but I always knew she meant two particular people, and he was one of them. So to have this, something that I've always wanted, that I never really stopped to get for myself. I know you look behind me and you see all of these things. I'm pretty sure if I didn't buy all of these, I could have saved and got one of those because these things are not cheap. But I always said, I always pushed it off. And said, I'll go get it later. I'll get it later. And this is one of the two particular championship belt replicas. And that's what this is that I always wanted. I wanted this one in particular because I'm a big Mark Henry fan. And that's one of the belts that he carried. So just to have it and just to have him as a friend, I consider myself very lucky. Of all the things that have happened to me over 2025, this is very near, very, very, very near the top. Like I said, I love him to death. He is not just my friend. He is my brother. And I thank him. I thank him out loud and publicly in front of everybody right now for being not just a friend, but being a brother, for seeing me through my absolute worst times. And I've done the same for him. He would say that, I didn't have to, but the truth is, yeah, I did have to because I love him. I love him to death. I would kill for him. I'd walk through hell for him. Just like I said, I know he would do for me. So if you want to see it, I'm going to show it to you now. We're not going to show him down. And you might as well get used to seeing it because it is very much going to be behind my head or hanging out with me quite a bit. And like I said, this is something I've always wanted. I have wanted one of these for more than a decade. And I never stopped to buy it for myself, but here it is. He gifted it to me. So I guess not only am I your favorite movie reviewer, but now I'm your world heavyweight champion reviewer. So OJ, I know you're going to see this. Thank you very much. You are my brother and I love you. And that's it. And I will see you all in the next video. So God bless. I love you and peace. See you next time.